Hello everyone and welcome to my cruise channel. Today we're going to talk about arriving to the port city a day ahead of time versus arriving to the port city the day of. Now, before we get into all that, I must ask, if you like this video, if you find it at all helpful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. We really appreciate it. Now, let's get to it. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is the distance you actually need to travel to get to the port city itself. Now, by that, I mean if you live relatively close to the port city, then there's really no need for you to get a hotel for the night before, because guess what? You're already in the port city, so you can save money on those hotel fees. However, if you live maybe a couple hours away or you're traveling to a different country, then it might make more sense for you to arrive a day ahead of time. That way you have all the time in the world to explore your new country or your new city, however you want to term it. Now, one of the other things that you should probably keep in mind when you're traveling to the cruise is, how are you actually going to get to the port? Let me know below what your favorite way to get to the port is. Do you like to fly or do you like to drive? Now, there's perks and cons to each of them. So, flying, for example, will definitely get you there quicker. However, the flights tend to run on a schedule, and you do have the freedom of being able to book through the cruise line or through an independent company on your own. But there's also cons to both of those. Now, if you travel with the cruise company, you might save a few bucks, but just like arranging your own independent travel, the flights tend to be running on a schedule, and if delayed, you might not get to the port city on time. Let me give you an example. So for my 13th birthday, we decided to take a cruise to Aruba, which was all well and good. We were all excited to take it, and we booked the flights through the cruise line. We were able to save a lot of money. However, due to circumstances beyond the cruise company's control, rather than arriving to Aruba at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and basically enjoying the sail away party with a couple of refreshments in our hands, we were delayed about 12 hours. So we didn't get to Aruba till about 4 o'clock in the morning. And Aruba, from what I can tell, is beautiful. However, there's not really much sightseeing you can do at 4 o'clock in the morning. Conversely, on our way back, due to circumstances beyond our control as well, or beyond the cruise company's control as well, our flight back home, or our flight to catch our connection flight, was delayed as well, but this time by 4 hours. So we got to our connection only to find that our flight home was delayed by 15 minutes. It was so much fun running through the airport, going through the check-in process and everything, to wave bye-bye to our bags as they flew off home without us on the plane. So that was not fun at all. I would probably not try that again if I could avoid it. So now, rather than dealing with the hustle and bustle of the airport and trying to make sure that we get our flights on time and everything like that, we choose to drive to the port. Now, the The drawback with this is it does tend to take a little bit longer. However, it saves money on the flights, and now we're not tied to the flight schedules to get us there on time, and there's no rush on embarkation or debarkation day for us to get up and going and all that. And it does save us a little bit of money with trying to find the flights. However, the downside is it does cost more in gas depending on the model of car that you're using. If you're using a hybrid, then you're probably not going to use as much gas money as you would if you were to ride in a car that runs solely on gas. Now, you also want to look at hotels if you're going to arrive to the port city a day ahead of time. Now, one of the things that you want to look for is you want to try to get hotels that are relatively close to the terminal, and you want to ask them if there's a cruise package available. Now, generally what this entails is if you stay with them the night before, they'll include a free continental breakfast plus transportation to and from the terminal. And if you drive there, you might be able to park your car there for free as opposed to paying the fees for parking at the terminal, which can be costly, especially if it's a week-long cruise. And by booking at a hotel the night before, there's no rush on embarkation day to get to the airport and, worry about, oh my goodness, is my plane going to be delayed? There's no worry for that. Because guess what? You're already at the port city. So you can kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy your time at the port city. Maybe do a little bit of exploring and all that. Now, another thing that you want to keep in mind too is if you're traveling as a family, you want to keep in mind the temperament of the children too. If your children tend to be a little bit on the hyperactive side, you might not want to take them on a plane where they could be disturbing other passengers. However, if they're the type of children that tend to want to do a lot of exploring and they want to get there, right then and there, then a flight might not be a bad idea. Now, with Sophie, we normally drive down a day ahead of time, and we know that she's a lot more relaxed and mature than when we first took her, and we are able to find things that she can play with on the ride down. So that might be something that you might want to consider as well. So that's about all I have for now. Again, if you like this video, if you find it at all helpful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And don't forget to check out our other videos, which are pictured on the screen. So I will see you soon. Bon voyage!